Man, I missed you guys earlier today. Had to do some work. Unfortunately, no 2 streams today. But hopefully you guys got a good taste of what it would be like if we got to make this our main thing. Being able to do 2 streams a day was a lot of fun. Back to it on the work circuit. Once again, thanks for hitting the like on the way. Helping us get to 6K as quickly as possible. That's our goal with this. Is trying to get to it so we can show you guys what we see, show you the charts, show you the symbolism, right? Outside of just this vertical bar that we have here. But appreciate everybody jumping on in, hitting the like on the way in, getting the momentum started. Already 15 likes to start off this stream. You guys are out of this freaking world. Are you guys freaking crazy? I think you guys are. I think there's a little bit of crazy in your head, especially on a Friday out here. You guys getting, some of y'all getting payday today. So shout out to all of y'all. Once again, thanks for hitting the like. Thanks to any new subscribers, and thanks to any members by signing up to be a member to the channel. Our tiniest one, the tiny green giant level, $1.99. You get to ask as many questions as you want on the stream. If you guys aren't a member, for whether you're a blue wrench or a gray, it's just about a base, 99-cent super chat or higher for any questions that you have, or any cryptos that you guys want me to look into and specifically study and give an opinion on. At least a 99-cent super chat donation. But guys, thanks for hitting start earning Bitcoin on your EMBER app. In the description below, we have our referral link to the EMBER app. If you use it, you get to earn extra Satoshis for mining Bitcoin through your phone. Every 24 hours, you just hit it. An ad pops up. You can just close the app right away the moment the ad pops up. Hit the app again, hit start earning Bitcoin again, and you're making passive Satoshis throughout your day until the next 24 hours. Appreciate everybody. We also have our base wallet. We also have our Coinbase ID. We also have our Ethereum address, XPX address, our LOBSTR address, right? For those XLM heads, those Luminats out there, I appreciate the support. Once again, always grateful. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. I am always wrong, but the Blue Foundation is always right. This is the worst show with the best community, and I'm so grateful to the best community jumping on in and supporting us here. You guys are out of this world. We got my JR in the house. What's up? El Prey in the house. Jeff Remix in the house. Oregon game is on. Hell yeah, man. Happy Venus Day. What's up, Moon Feather Rising? Good to see you. Bedtime. Damn, sorry to hear that, Marty. Sorry, Marty. I don't know what part of the world you're at, man, but hey, shout out to those on the east side or wherever you're at in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Happy Friday. Happy Saturday. I appreciate y'all. XRP is simmering on the grill without a doubt. Quentin Miller. We got Delusions in the house. Delusions of Grandeur. Grayscale filed for a BNB ETF. It's about time, man. The DOJ owns BNB. Department of Justice is running BNB. So it makes sense that they would have finally an ETF going for BNB. PF in the house. What's up, man? Looking good in your green right there, PF. I appreciate that. Make that 16 likes. Make that 21 likes already starting off the stream. We're not even 10 minutes in. Can we hit 50 likes by the end of the stream? I certainly hope so. That's going to be our like goal since we're starting off so hot right here on a Friday. Only one stream today, right? Only one stream. What a shame. I wish we could have streamed earlier, man, but we were working. We were putting in the time to make, some dough to get those deep breads. And man, I got pages of deep breads for you guys here today. I got 2 pages of deep breads, right? And then we got a little bit of news, not too much. The news is kind of like teetered off, right? The tech news has kind of gotten a little bit less, as we gone on to the week. But man, it was a massive starting week, right? With all the smart technology, smart play platform with Lego. You got smart cart technology from Amazon, and then Microsoft following suit, right? OpenAI being part of the race as well. Just wait until they start doing micropayments, right? That's going to be the next competition. Right now, they're doing smart this, smart that. Hey, look, you don't need a cashier anymore. You are the cashier. You scan your own item. You pay for your own item. You walk out of that store without having to interact with a third party or a cashier, right? The world in the future is third party lists, right? Without a doubt. And then you also got, Morgan Stanley launching some ETFs, some Ethereum ETFs, some Bitcoin ETFs. Guys, can you sense the bullishness? I just got off work And I'm not losing energy right here. I'm freaking full of energy because we're hanging out with the Blue Foundation. We're doing what we love to do right here, hanging out with all of y'all. I am so grateful to everybody and your support. You guys mean the world. Guys, shout out to all of y'all. Thanks for the 12 of you guys jumping on in. Somehow we got 21 likes. I don't know how that's even freaking possible, but I appreciate the support. We got Turple Nurple and his nice green giant status. We got the Hulk Smash Tim Shea jumping on in. What's up, dude? Appreciate you jumping on in. Much love to all of y'all. Yeah, double tapping the screen hits the like. I appreciate that, Silver Days, as always. AM Wood into the chat. Oh, man, we got the usual suspects here, right? We got the usual suspects, man. Hey, man, some people, you know, it's funny. We've had different eras in our 9 years. Here we've had different eras in our 9 years. Yeah, somehow, exactly, delusions of grandeur. Somehow we got 23 likes to go into this chat. But we've had different eras, and I'm starting to notice a different group of the usual suspects coming into the chat more often on our daily streams here. And I'm so grateful to the new crop that we have jumping on in. I miss the old crop, man, the old days, right? Back in the day, you know, our first crop was legendary, 1,000 bones, what's it called? Chip, right? If you guys don't know, Chip from On the Chain, right? Yeah, freaking Chip was one of our first Blue Foundation, Blue Crew members, right, in the channel. One of the first to receive a blue wrench, man. I miss Chip, man. I miss Chip. Hopefully one day he can tune back into this channel and say hello. I'd be grateful for that, man. It's great to see some of the, it's always great to see some of the OGs who have been with us throughout the 9 years supporting this channel. You know, they have gone and progressed and grown into their own things and doing their own stuff, man. But, you know, we remember the support without a doubt. This group is extra rainbow. Yeah, sure, for sure. For sure, this group is extra. Sure. We got just nothing but respect here, Delusions of Grandeur. Remember, man, you may have to be careful with your comments, man, because you got a room full of blue wrenches and green giants here who can kind of do what they will, man. If but hey, it is what it is. If you're coming in with bad vibes, man, they're going to make sure it's good vibes and good times always in this freaking chat. That is for sure. So I'm so grateful to all of y'all. Guys, summing up some of the news that has happened earlier in this week. Once again, Lego unveiling their smart platform play or smart play platform technology, introducing smart bricks, smart figurines, right? Get ready to keep seeing more smart toys, AI-enabled toys. This is looking like the year of the AI-enabled toys that is finally starting to roll out, man. We have been waiting for this for 2 years. We've been calling out for smart toys to start coming, right? The movie Small Soldiers, right? If you guys haven't seen the movie Small Soldiers, man, they've been predicting this to come, and we're just waiting, man, for the new era of Furby, which is going to probably be a gremlin because the movie Gremlins is coming out. They're going to release a toy of the gremlin. It's going to be an interactive gizmo, right? That an AI-enabled gizmo toy that's going to be coming on out. We got smart shopping carts, right? And now, some of the pieces of news before we get into the deep reds, because I know you guys are just thirsty for the freaking deep reds. We got 2 pages of deep reds of cryptos that are low sentiment, that nobody's talking about, that everybody is freaking, sleeping on, without a doubt, that are a tremendous value. But we got to go into some of the news here. So some of the other pieces of news, Waymo's evolving. Waymo's succeeding, man. These autonomous vehicles are going to continue to be a thing. Remember, society is just getting more expensive to live in, and it's not going to stop, right? It's not going to get, it's not going to stop. It's not going to be easily affordable, right? They're going to make autonomous vehicles a standard, right? You're not to be able to afford a car, right? To be able to afford a car to take up space on this planet, it's going to be more expensive, right? Whether it's a home that you own or a car that you own or any other hard assets that you own, they will be pricey, right? So Waymo is looking like it's being a success, man. People wanting to drive without a driver that's bothering them, asking how their day is. They can just focus on their task at hand as they're going to their destination, right? Autonomous vehicles are going to continue to be a thing, and they're going to continue to grow, right? If you guys have seen our NTT data video with the automotive industry, right? On our X, pinned at the top, is all the entity data videos. The first one is the banking industry, right? But underneath in the comments there in that thread is all the other industries, the healthcare industry, the automotive industry, right? The telecom industry, right? And more, right? Attached to those videos in the automotive industry, they said autonomous vehicles will be the standard. And that's going to be no question about it, man. You're already seeing Waymo drawing a lot of success, especially here in Los Angeles, man. I'm seeing Waymos in some of the, obviously in downtown LA, big time in downtown LA, in Hollywood, but now it's starting to spread out to some of the smaller cities here. So we're going to start seeing autonomous vehicles starting to become a thing, right? And then we have Grok, right? Grok. People are gravitating to Grok, not for what you think, right? Dude, ChatGPT's got some competition now with Grok, right? And you know what? I freaking Elon Musk is a madman, dude. He's drawing all the naughty people, dude, over to his platform to use Grok more often. But now he's starting to allow payment limits. But before it was free, you could strip down photos, right? You can do some deep fakes or have people doing things. You can get a still of a photo and do a video out of it. And they've been doing videos where they've been having, they'll get a hot girl's photo on Instagram or something like that, put it onto Grok and ask Grok to strip them down to nude, right? Strip them down to completely nude, dude. This stuff is going to get regulated without a doubt. AI is going to get regulated. The internet is going to get regulated. Enjoy the Wild West phase of this discovery and, the cat being out of the bag. That is AI. This is going to lead to streaming payments, right? Micro payments eventually. But hey, man, Grok's starting to get some traction, which is hilarious, man. Dude, people doing some freaking naughty stuff with Grok. And now Grok is, at first was allowing it for it to be free to do, right? Now they're adding a payment wall, which makes sense. But hey, you already drawed the users. You already drew the users to your platform, man. Dude, X is doing some interesting ways of freaking doing things. You should see what I've had Jenny Ortega up to. Okay. Let me shout out to everybody here. Let me check out, and also they built a Tesla diner in Los Angeles for the charging stations. And at this Tesla diner, while you're charging your Tesla in the parking lot, they have three large screens on the outside that makes it look like a drive-in movie theater that are playing these kind of futuristic movies, like Knight Rider, Terminator, and some other stuff, right? And then in the center, they have freaking a Tesla diner where you can wait and get food, right? Especially if it's cold, you can wait in your car, or you're eating in the diner, and the diner looking futuristic as well. Yeah, hey, that's so funny that you're talking about Gizmo. Hate to admit it, but Gizmo was my little stuffed animal I carried around when I was a baby and a little kid. Still got them today. He's in rough shape. Oh, I bet. Hey, man, there's going to be a new Gizmo coming out, right? It's not going to be Furby. Right? If you guys remember, they preconditioned us to AI toys when we were already younger with Furby, right? With Furby and, little talking parrots that were mechanical. Now you're going to get the new era of that type of stuff. That new era is going to be coming, and Gizmo is going to be the new age of Furby, talking to you, hanging out with you, being your little buddy. You're going to have little Stitches, right? From Lilo and Stitch, right? You're going to have Pokemon, right? Pokemon toys that are talking to you. Dude, this cat is out of the bag. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to freaking slow down. Eat IKEA food at your charge station. Exactly. That too. IKEA's got that going on, right? IKEA's got that going on without a doubt. What's up, World Free Speech, XRP? Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to everybody, guys. Guys, thanks for hitting the like. We're almost to 30 likes on the stream. This is out of this freaking world. Let's keep going. So that's the piece of the news today, man. We got to get into the deep reds. We got 2 pages of freaking deep reds to go over, and I want to talk about every single crypto on here. As you guys know how we do on the channel, we go from the shallowest deep red. That means the least amount of red that it is on the year, and right now the limit is at around, well, there's some honorable mentions, but the average limit right now is 60% and higher. So we're going to get deeper and deeper. We're going to go from 60% down into the 90% down on the year. Super low sentiment cryptos that nobody is talking about, that people are afraid, absolutely afraid to talk about, right? But we got to mention first the 30000 cryptos, right? Let's just get those out of the way because I know you guys want to talk about those. I know you guys are getting excited for the what's up, PF? Shout out to you. Would be creepy having Gizmo hang out with me and talk to me. Hey, man, PF, once again, this isn't built for us. For people who are like 25 plus and stuff, This type of stuff isn't being built for our era, right? We got to see the world pre-internet, basically, right? We got to know what it was like to actually, appreciate nature and touch grass. This is for the kiddos who are growing up with their Roblox, with AI, with their phones glued to their freaking eyes from day freaking one, right? This is what it's all about right now. This world is not meant for us. We are the old heads. We are the new baby boomers if we're investing in digital assets today. They're going to be like, how did you know? How did you know that digital assets were going to be mass adopted, Grandpa? How did you freaking know, right? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody here. Much love to y'all. But anyways, so the 000 cryptos that are undervalued, that have very low sentiment, that nobody's talking about, that have very interesting connections, some more than others, but nonetheless, we are running out of 000 cryptos. We are a channel here that talked about XYO when it was in 000, SHX when it was in 000, XPR when it was in 000, right? We've talked about a number of cryptos. I think even XEN when it was in 000, right? There's some other cryptos here that I'm probably not, drawing off the top of my head here that we have talked about for when they were in the 000, but there's 3 right now. There's 3 left over. Hey man, AM Wood, you're not too far off, man. There's already a Japanese woman who's already married her freaking robot, right? So that's already happening, man. This is built for the new age, man. These people are going to be more open to those type of things than we are, right? They're going to be so socially awkward. Right. Remember this. They are building a very socially awkward society where these people don't know how to interact with other humans, and they don't have patience for understanding, for compassion, right, with other humans. The moment that there's even a little bit of a disagreement between these two humans, they'll write each other off. They'll say, I never want to see you again. I'm sorry about it. My robot and I click a lot more. I'm just going to go interact with them. I'm just going to go jump onto the metaverse, right? Sorry about it. I hate freaking humanity, right? They're going to be too socially awkward to put in the work to want to understand their fellow human beings. It's just how it's being set up. Unfortunately, right? They're going to be too impatient. They're going to want instant gratification always, right? What is the movie Her all about, right? The movie Her is about a dude who falls in love with a robot that is speaking out of his freaking cell phone. He falls in love with her, and he's remembering a past relationship that he had with a human, right? That they couldn't make it work. They just couldn't make it work, right? He ends up falling in love with the robot, and you know what happens to the robot? Even the robot ends up leaving him. The sweet irony, the robot ends up leaving him. And sure, does he end up with another human at the end? Sure, they give a little bit of a light side to the ending there, that him and this other human may be able to click, but they're just really good friends. It's, you make your own assumption as an audience member that, oh, they're going to click, right? They're going to click. They have something in common, right? But it doesn't show them instantly getting together near the end there. So he falls in love with a freaking robot, right? What happens in Blade Runner 2049? He gets a prostitute who is an android woman and holograms his desired woman onto that android woman. He holograms her onto the android. So he's still having interrelations with a freaking robot. And not only a robot, a hologram on top of that freaking robot, right? Freaking insane. Insane, right? Shout out to the Patsy jumping on in. Appreciate you. During my chat audit of some of my comments weren't going through. Were any of you kind souls censoring me? Patsy, I don't know if anybody was censoring, man, unless you were delusions, right? Delusions of grandeur. Maybe you might have 100 million. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be spending their gains on these $100,000 or $1 million latex girlfriends, right? The ultimate love doll. I told all my kids that all the time when I think I'm crazy, when I'm trying to give them a little bit of knowledge on crypto and whatnot, I tell them, his name, my generation is your generation, so learn. Hey man, dude, the youth will never, I mean, even us, we still don't listen to the old heads, right? And the young don't listen to us, right? It just is what it is. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Hence why I always say at the beginning of every stream or even during the streams, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader, and I'll never tell you what to do. Nobody likes being told what to do. Everybody likes to make their own decision on their own time, right? That's why I always say, thank you for the like. Thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for the membership, right? Because people will like and subscribe and be members when they want to, when they so decide. They don't, a lot of people like to be told what to do, apparently, in the cryptos or in YouTube space. They love being told, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, right? They love being told what to do, but I have respect. I have respect for y'all and your timing and when you want to do things. Max in the house. Shout out to everybody here. Yeah, I told the young people to young people to better load up on crypto, dude. Hey, I'm buying crypto for my nieces and nephews, right? The ones that unfortunately don't know about it, right? Or they do know about it, but they don't know how to get it, right? I'm putting specific holdings just for them. Yeah, Ski Mask. It is interesting being at around this age where, I mean, you feel like you know more than the old heads and the young, right? But I don't mind. Any info is training data. Yeah, there you go, Patsy. Yeah, exactly. Wisdom can be found in the old and the young. Exactly. And in the middle, right? It's just so funny. Like when you're young, you never think you're going to grow old, right? And when you're even middle age, you still don't think you're ever going to grow old, right? Until you're freaking old one day and you're like, holy crap, I became old. I never thought I would even be this old, right? I never even thought I would be an old person, right? It's just, but I remember being a little kid and being like, you view adults in such a different way. Like they're a different species from you, right? And then next thing you know, you become an adult, right? It's freaking crazy. But anyways, let's keep going. The 3 000 cryptos as we start off our deep reds right here. I know people love the big star right now. XPX at 0003. 0003 for a CBDC tech sprint winner of 2022, right? Proven to be providing end-to-end CBDC infrastructure, has gone quiet, has signed NDAs, right? Has been releasing little tidbits over the years. Last year, there's storage mainnet being released. We're talking about a crypto that can fill up almost every freaking layer of the absolute necessary stack for this internet of value. So XPX at 0003, looking like a tremendous value. Once again, our coffee money could go a long way. This project's got to prove itself to us. If it is the true end-to-end CBDC powerhouse that it's meant to be, right, then us even having a few of these or 1,000 of these, right, it's easy to get 1,000, is going to be life-changing, right? IrisNet at 0008. Connected with Hyperledger, one of the founders of the inner blockchain communication layer of the Cosmos ecosystem. IrisNet, going through a major FUD period, kind of reminding me of when SHX went down to 000s. You never thought SHX would go down to 000s. Now, it did, and then now it's coming back up, and there's more holders than ever on SHX. IrisNet at 0008. I'm very excited to see what's going to be going down there. Crypto is a scam all in all. Yeah, without a doubt. Most of crypto, 90% plus of digital assets are an utter scam. They're a hedge against fiat, and unfortunately, fiat is going to be gold backed, right? So it makes 90% of cryptos irrelevant. It only makes the utility digital assets relevant, the utility infrastructure relevant. Utility like AI agent, know your agent protocols, right? Life is a scam, right? As well. So enjoy the scam while you can. You can take advantage of the volatility of the scam, right? Oh man, happy Friday to all of y'all. It's good to be alive, living a life of gratitude. Always good times and good vibes. I appreciate y'all. Got a feeling wide receiver is coming. Need to get precious metals. Oh, war is coming. Need to get precious. I mean, dude, precious metals and crypto do very well in times of chaos, right? We've been talking about precious metals for a long time, since the beginning of this stream. We've been doing this for 9 years, right? So since the beginnings, we have been talking about how important gold especially has been to invest in, but silver, copper, right? You're starting to see copper making a nice little run. Precious metals in general, hard assets in general are only going to become more and more valuable. So I agree with you on that, man. What's up, Titan in the house? Good to see you. Appreciate everybody jumping on in. You guys are amazing. Much love to all of y'all. Thanks for hitting the like. We're already at 30 likes, and we're not even deep into the deep reds, but we're talking about the 000 gems right now that are left over. IrisNet at 0008 in the Cosmos ecosystem has Hyperledger connections. XPX at 0003 CBDC tech sprint winner, and then Aqua at 0005, the liquidity management layer of the XLM ecosystem. Aqua brings liquidity and tight spreads and big time FX to the XLM ecosystem. Aqua has only gotten bigger. It has over 100,000 or 150,000 holders, right? 100 billion supply locked, right? 0005 right now. What an opportunity Aqua is. The Aqua must flow, right? We go to Algo, right? Algorand. We start going in from the shallow of the deep reds to the deepest of the deep reds. Algorand is at 13 cents right now, negative 61% down, and Algorand's a very quiet crypto. Nobody talks about Algorand anymore, and Algorand is looking like a fantastic opportunity. Fast transactions, high throughput, great compute, the first carbon neutral blockchain in existence, right? Can provide decentralized recovery. It's one of the founding members of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. You see the faces of HBAR and Ripple, right? In especially their partnership and collaborations on the Decentralized Recovery Alliance being part of the founding four, but you never hear about Algorand too much, and HBAR loves Algorand. Lehman Beard loves talking about their collaboration with HBAR and Algorand. Algorand is being kept very, very, very quiet. Axelar at 8 cents, without a doubt, dude. And Axelar, we have been saying in past streams, is going through a major FUD event right now. Axelar is still an open source project. It's still connected to about 100 freaking blockchains for interoperability. There's not that many cryptos that fulfill the interoperability layer, right? You got Quant, which is not even a blockchain. You got Axelar, which is a blockchain. You got W, which is a blockchain, right? And then you got sorry, I'm starting to draw. Oh no. I mean, you got Allbridge, but I know I'm starting to, the Atom and Cosmos ecosystem, right? The IBC. But Quant is going to do its thing with legacy systems and blockchain. It's going to help a lot in terms of enterprise adoption, without a doubt. So, keeping on going. So Algorand at 13 cents looking like a tremendous buy at negative 61% down. We got Zahao, XAH. Nobody knows about Zahao, and everybody's too afraid to invest in it because they don't know what a bull cycle looks like for this digital asset. It came out during a bear cycle, right? Zahao is the smart contracts layer for the XRPL. Evernode is part of that, as well as the compute layer. Those three, XRP, XAH, and Evernode, are going to be beasts for that XRPL ecosystem. And XAH already lets you delegate it and earn rewards for your XAH, right? We're currently earning rewards on our Zahao and XAH at 3 cents, negative 62% down. I can't wait to see what a bull cycle looks like for this digital asset. Avalanche, AVAX at $13.95, negative 62% down, 500 million supply for Avalanche. Avalanche is going to be coming back, man. Avalanche, during a bear cycle, released that they can co-host other layer ones onto their blockchain. They are becoming like a hybrid layer 1, layer 0 type of blockchain for Avalanche, and it's very low supply, about 500 million. You can get whole numbers of them easily. This used to be like $50 plus, guys. It's at $13.95 now, or 85 cents, right? We got XX Network at a penny, negative 65% down, 1 billion supply. David Chaum, the founder of eCash, right, from back in the day, they called that one the first Bitcoin in a way, right? He's the godfather of crypto, they like to call him. He has investment from Chris Larson, early investment into XX Network and Elixir and their development from Chris Larson of Ripple. There's an XRPL bridge with the XX Network providing on-demand privacy with on-demand payments. You got World Chain from Sam Altman. Guys, people are sleeping on WLD and World Chain, man. Under $1, WLD is still a tremendous value in my opinion. I don't care what we say about the tokenomics. Sam Altman is more important than any of your other founders in this freaking space. He is a bigger name and more notable name, and he's bringing freaking digital identity to this space. He has the orbs. Already over 1 million people have scanned their freaking eyeballs on the freaking orbs, and it's only going to accelerate the more that they demand cybersecurity of their identity. What did I just mention about earlier with Grok being able to strip down photos to you looking naked? Imagine if somebody who didn't like you copied and pasted one of your photos of you in your full body in an outfit, and then they strip you down nude and then repost it, and then acting as if you posted it, man. Guys, people are going to demand cybersecurity. They're going to demand verification of their identity and their humanness, right? Especially as androids and machines are starting to become more human, which I don't know why. I don't know why we can't sign a petition as the globe and say, hey, androids cannot look like humans. They just cannot. Let's just save ourselves the freaking headache. But unfortunately, there's a lot of lonely people in the world who are going to want that, right? They don't want to put in the work to get to know other humans, right? To find their freaking soulmate, right? They just want somebody who agrees with them completely and matches their personality completely, right? So anyways, you got WLD investing 3 grants into XX Network. So they're going to have the privacy layer. XX Network is the only private crypto that is out there that meshes privacy at the metadata level. This is massive. As people are chasing Zcash, people are chasing XMR. They're not chasing real privacy tokens. They do not mesh the metadata of a transaction. The only one that does is XX Network. Yes, and with the Retina scanner. We view that because we're old heads. Remember, this technology and this future is not made for people like you and me, right? It's made for the kids who grow up with Roblox, who grow up with AI already interacting, their love for technology, their love for their phones, their tablets, their video games. This is the type of future that it's built for, and they're going to be so on board, right? Hell, once the problem really comes out that our identities are being freaking compromised and fraud is happening in a rampant pace, deep fakes are happening, right? We're going to demand for digital identity. That's the funny thing. At first, right now, everybody's like, no, screw digital identity. Don't accept it, right? Oh, we'll accept it because we still want to be able to use AI because we're obsessed with it right now. We're obsessed with our tech. And unfortunately, the freaking, Pandora's box is open. It's not going to be going in. Because it's not going to be going back in, unfortunately, man. The youth is only going to get older, and they're going to be the ones who are pushing for more and more entertainment, more and more of digital identity, right? Hell, it's going to help with finding better news, because right now you're going to get a bunch of fake news, right? It's going to help with trying to strengthen the reliability of the news that we get because of all the deep fakes and AI generated stuff, right? So there will be a plus to it. It's going to be a double-edged sword, but a little bit of our freedom goes away, unfortunately. So XX Network at 1 penny, negative 65% down, 1 billion supply, the privacy Bitcoin, I like to call it. Solana, or no, not Solana. Dude, man, I saw an old screenshot that I took from back in the day. If you guys don't know, we talked about Solana at around a couple of dollars. We talked about Solana at $14. We did a deep dive video on Solana. I can't wait to get back into a studio and start doing dedicated deep dives on some of these freaking projects again, man. And your support means the world, you guys. It helps us get there without a doubt. So Sologenic, though, but Solana, dude, we called out Solana, in 2019, 2020, before it boomed from freaking $5 all the way up to 200, right? Unbelievable, right? So very excited to see where this one's going to be going. But Sologenic is what I mean to call out. We called out Sologenic when it was 10 cents and it made a run for $6. It's at 15 cents right now. Unbelievable price for Sologenic at negative 66% down, 500 million supply. And one of its tokens in its ecosystem, SARA, SARA, Pulsara, is at 002, negative 67% down, 100 million supply. right? We're going to take a little break from the deep reds to read some of the comments. I appreciate everybody's support. I sold World Chain at a 75% loss, so I'm biased. No, I hear you. I hear you. Quant is a beast to buy. There you go. Droids must have 6 fingers and toes. Yeah, something to know the difference, man. Something to know the difference. I kicked myself every day because I talked about buying gold and silver for 2 years before I actually started doing it. I got in and silver was about 15 and gold's about 14. Shout out to everybody. URL for that tech for the orb. For the orb, I think you can find it at worldchain.org or WorldChain's website. Can't go wrong with silver and gold. Have to get the physical, not paper. Exactly. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Precious metals will only be more important, dude. We're about to go into a gold-backed financial system, guys. We are going to get pegged to gold again, right? The inflation has gone too far, right? And people are going to be demanding it, right? We're going to demand this change. We're going to agree with the change of going to a digital gold-backed system. It won't be the old school traditional financial system like before Nixon changed it up, right? It's not going to be that. It's going to be a digital gold-backed system. We're going to go into a new era here. How does everyone keep track of what they're investing and staking with so many choices on all these different platforms? I'm looking for a better way to stay organized. I guess the best way to stay organized is to have a binder, my man. A binder that has all of your private keys from these different ecosystems. I like to have some of my cryptos on their dedicated wallets, right, for those ecosystem, or in hard cold storage, multiple storage devices. Some of them are paper wallets where I just keep the keys, or steel plated wallets. There's even gold coins that have a QR code where you could store your crypto on that, right? But still, it requires a device. I'm a big fan of doing steel-plated cold storage right now. Steel-plated cold storage, right? I don't have to rely on the device. I own the keys. The keys are mine. They're in there, right? You still own the keys even if you have a device that holds your crypto in it. You still have to have the keys of that device, right? That's the funny thing. Everybody's buying all these devices. They're buying ledgers, LEPALs, decents and everything, but you still have to write down the freaking keys that dedicated device belongs to, right? And as long as you have the keys and the ownership of the keys, you're the freaking security guard, right? You're the one who's covering it up, right? It's not the device. The device is just a way to access it, right? The device is just the way to access it. So what I like doing sometimes is I like getting the dedicated wallets of some of these platforms. I like downloading them on my phone, writing down the keys, and then uninstalling them. The moment that I have, my crypto on there, I uninstall them from my phone, right? Because if my phone gets hacked, they won't know what apps I've been freaking using or what apps I have, right? They're not going to be able to download my apps, right? They're not going to be able to access my keys, right? Best way to stay organized, full port into TIBBIR. Yeah, just pick one asymmetric bet, right? At Patsy. I get you, man. Just full. I love that, man. That puts a smile on my face, dude. I love to just full port into TIBBIR. That's a catchy little thing to say right there. Oh boy, tough one. I love that. Who freaking quieted Quentin Miller, dude? Some blue wrenches got to be careful. You cannot. Guys, blue wrenches, you get penalized, right? You can possibly lose your blue wrench if you're quieting a green giant. That's all I'm saying. I think it's in good fun for right now, but if you actually do it in a serious way and you just don't like what that person's saying, right, then you do risk losing your blue wrench. That's the consequence of the blue wrenches right there, or muting a green giant from what they want to say, right? So you can do it in good fun, right, blue wrench, but you can lose your blue wrench for muting a green giant or muting them for too long. All bonk all the time. There you go. So AM1 is all about bonk. Patsy is all about TIBBIR. There we go. But TIBBIR is not a meme coin. TIBBIR ain't a meme coin. That's for sure. TIBBIR sounds like a meme coin. It's great disguise, right? To have people not investing in TIBBIR, right? Making it look and act like a freaking meme coin when this thing is the freaking know your agent identity layer, right? Keeping track of how much you put into a coin, how much profit you've taken, something like that. I mean, doing an Excel sheet is probably the best way to go. PF, right? Doing an Excel sheet or something like that, right, is probably the best way to go. I think there's they used to have like crypto portfolio apps, but I'm not too big of a fan of just having so many damn apps on my phone, man. I just kind of natural, I'm more of a hodler to begin with anyway, and I definitely know the cryptos that I'm just doing for tradal purposes, and Coinbase does a good job of letting you know your percentage of gains that you've made since your investment, right? They show you exactly the amount of percentage you have gained from your investment. Some other platforms do that as well. But I definitely know what are my tradal assets and my hodl assets, without a doubt. Guys, 31 likes already. We're already pretty close to 50 likes. We're not even fully through our deep reds. We took a little bit of a break, but now let's keep going back into the deep reds. Once again, I'm so grateful for the support on a Friday. Without a doubt, guys, once again, your support means the world. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. In the description below, there's ways to donate to this channel to help us grow. We want to get into a studio, right? We want to be able to afford StreamYard so we can multicast to other platforms, to be able to multicast not only on YouTube, but on X as well, to help the community grow, to help the community get more reach, right? And then eventually being in a studio that has a nice mic, a nice screen that we can share with y'all and deep dive a lot of these freaking cryptos where I can show you the information instead of telling you the information, right? We got ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, at $3.20, negative 68% down for ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. One of the closest to being a full stack crypto experience right here, blockchain experience, at $3.20, very low supply, negative 68% down, could possibly be the next Solana, right? There's two cryptos that have a potential in terms of like the same vibe and same realm of being like the next one to burst to becoming a Solana level type of gain. And that is Avalanche and ICP. They both have about around a 500 million supply, and they're both in the single digits in terms of dollars right now. And they're drawing a lot of users and a lot of speculation right now. And they're very high throughput, very fast transactions per second, right? I think EGLD is low-key a dark horse for that case. I think a lot of people have been fudded out of Multiverse X and EGLD. The rebrand fudded out a lot of people, right? But they're a Decentralized Recovery Alliance member. They can provide decentralized recovery. They have a great validator ecosystem spread across the world, right? Very high throughput, possibly higher than ICP and Avalanche in terms of throughput and compute. They have very unique forms of consensus, right? So EGLD, I think, is also a sleeper contender right there. It's like, what, 29 million supply for EGLD, and it's at around $6, but that's later on in the deep reds right here. So let's keep going. We got SGB, Songbird at 002, negative 68% down, right? SGB, Songbird, and Flare at a penny, right? Flare at a penny, I think 50 billion supply or 100 billion supply, right? These two are sleepers. Nobody knows what a bull cycle will do for these digital assets. All they have known is bearishness, right? For multiple years. They came out basically after the 2021 bull cycle, right? And all they've known is just bearishness, right? Just bearish sideways motion. I think SGB and Flare in the year of the sun are going to be doing some amazing things, and I'm very excited to be able to get whole numbers of these for very little investment, not over investing in any of these cryptos, because any of these cryptos can go away tomorrow, right? We're just chipping away. We're becoming, we're ninjas. We just stay even keel, right? And just chip away and pick our cryptos that we desire that are in the deep reds to chip away with our coffee money and make our coffee money worth more, right? Have more of an impact. It has more of an impact the deeper into the reds that we go. We go to Layer Zero, right? Layer Zero, ZRO, is at $1.44 in negative 69% down. Layer Zero, I think, only has like 1 billion supply, right? And at $1.44, massive connections, IOTA connections, Ripple connections, Stellar connections, right? Layer Zero is turning out to be a great interoperability layer play. I can't believe we don't mention it in the interoperability layers too much, but layer 0, black and white crypto logo as well, has been getting a lot of utility and a lot of love, right? A lot of love, without a doubt. VeChain at a penny. We'll get to VeChain. It's just a couple of deep breaths away here. Let me catch up with the chat for a little bit here. Jasmine and Bonk. Yeah, Jasmine sub a penny is looking pretty good, man. Jasmine's got a really, really good quality, creators right there for sure. Shout out to everybody here. Much love to y'all. Generational decision. There we go. Yeah, for TIBBIR, for sure. CoinGecko, you want to use one, you can list your tokens and add buy and sells. There you go. Awesome stuff, Tim Shea. Still holding my Shiba. 1 penny dream. Let's go. I'm talking a little more along the lines of, yeah, I got you. Flare and VeChain. Oh, yeah, let's go. FXRP trading on Hyperliquid, I think. Yeah, Hyperliquid and FXRP, definitely. Yeah, that's a great announcement. I mean, FXRP starting to branch out. And guys, people have been dude, we've talked about this like years ago, right? When we saw Hugo Filion talking about Stronghold. On Stronghold's website, you have a quote from Hugo Filion. Guys, this is nothing new, but people are acting like it's something that's freaking new. We've talked about this freaking years ago when Hugo Filion was talking about Stronghold and what a pleasure they are to work with, right? And then we speculated, holy cow, is FSHX a possibility as an F asset or F asset? Is SHX going to become an F asset? Right? We talked about this years ago, and now people are talking about it on X as if it's something new, right? As if it's something to like look into, guys. It just goes to show, like, just like how sometimes repeated knowledge is almost necessary because people just don't remember it when it was originally said, right? But dang, yeah, SHX is a possibility. You got Hugo Filion on the SHX website saying it's a pleasure to work with them, right? Flare is going to Flare is going to go beyond FXRP eventually. Right? We got to get used to that fact as well. FDoge is going to probably be a thing. FXLM is going to be a thing, right? You're going to have FSHX looking like it's definitely a possibility in the making here. Dude, this is why we're bullish on SGB and Flare. There's a lot more to come than just FXRP in the Flare ecosystem, right? So we're excited to see where Flare is going to go. Remember, Ripple hasn't said that they're not invested in Flare anymore. They just really haven't talked about it as much, but they did say they invested in Flare networks, right? Back in the early days, right? They haven't said, hey, our partnership or our investment is no longer, right? They haven't given that word, right? So they're probably still invested in FXRP, right? Or in, in Flare, right? We go to XYO, man. We talked about XYO when it was in triple zeros. USA crypto, by the way, it's an X crypto at 005, negative 69% down. OG DPIN project right here, without a doubt. So very excited for XYO. We go to Naoris, man. Naoris, new kid on the block. Right? New kid on the block. We got to wait and see where else this is going to go. Maybe it goes to sub a penny. But Naoris right now at 3 cents, 4 billion supply. Dude, Naoris is one of the only cryptos doing what it's doing, where it is focused on the cybersecurity, decentralizing machines, right? Decentralizing the machine-to-machine economy, right? Making sure that they are secure, making sure that the machines that are allowed to act in this economy are allowed to do so, right? Just like TIBBIR is doing Know Your Agent. Naoris, I mean, dare I say, is doing Know Your Machine in a way, right? Without the machines, the agents can't act. And if it's a compromised machine, it's a compromised agent, right? So cybersecurity is an utmost importance, and Naoris, Naoris, at 3 cents, 4 billion supply has been one of the cryptos that I've been extremely excited about recently. And been throwing in on with some of my coffee money. I want to try to get to 1,000 of these while it's at 3 cents, at least. I want to try to get to 1,000 Naoris, right? And then see what this thing ends up becoming, because I'm very excited about its technology and what it's been getting shout outs for. This would be one of the benefits of being able to do a deep dive on Naoris, right? If we had a screen that we could share and share information with you guys, right? Anyways, we move on to Mana, Decentraland. Metaverse cryptos in general, right? Mana at 14 cents, negative 71% down, 3.8 billion supply. Very excited to see what Mana is going to do. This thing was at $5 at the hype of the metaverse, speculation in blockchain, right? Mana is one of the OGs, man. People always go to the OGs or some of the first movers in terms of investing in a lot of these things. We've seen that for AI agents. We've seen that for privacy, right? We're going to see that for metaverse again. And Mana at 14 cents is looking like a tremendous, tremendous opportunity at negative 71% down, 3.8 billion supply. We got VeChain at a penny, negative 73% down. VeChain supply chain crypto, very, very valuable, in my opinion, right here. Proven hardware, proven sensors in real life, in mainstream, right? UFC gloves utilizing the chips of VeChain. ESPN broadcasting UFC events and a little ticker that says powered by VeChain, right? Those little subliminals that go on by. A penny, VeChain. VeChain's has got a U.S. presence, guys. VeChain has a U.S. presence, negative 73% down. It's got a global presence. This thing was very smart. So far, we've seen TRX explode from migrating away from Ethereum, right? It was at 2 cents forever. It went up to a 10x plus, right? VeChain, I think, is the next 10x plus right here. VeChain migrated early days away from Ethereum. We're going to be seeing VeChain go to 10 cents plus, and I'm very excited to see what the Internet of Sensors, Internet of Things technology that VeChain is doing. We could stake it, earn VThor, right? We can convert that VThor into more VeChain if we want to. Negative 73% down. We got measurable data token, measurable data at a penny, negative 74% down. We got the penny cryptos jumping up here on the deep reds. DAG, Constellation, at a penny, negative 74% down, right? Constellation data integrity is second to none in the crypto space. Air Force is using them and more. AI agents coming to Constellation for its data integrity. AI agents are nothing without good data, and they need DAG. DAG isn't a blockchain, it's a layer 0, right? And it's using DAG, right? But it'll enhance the utility of blockchain. It'll make the data reliable, right? That's what it's all about. Gee, where are you buying Naoris? Yeah, you can buy it through Uniswap. Exactly, AM Wood. I get the Ethereum-based contract of Naoris for now, right? Until they get further listings. And then I store it on my base. I'm trying to figure out other ways to store it, hopefully in cold storage. Moneymaker, dude, you know what it is with questions, man. And you might just want to wait. You might just want to wait because I'm going to answer your question as we go along, because we do have a bunch of Cosmos ecosystem cryptos in the deep reds. We've been talking about the Cosmos for a while, man. We've been basically on a ton of streams. We talk about the Cosmos, man. So you can see where I'm already, what I think about it, right? Yep, Coin Market Calendar is a great thing about to find events that are leading up for projects, for sure. Coin Market Calendar is a great website. Yep, I hope people still use Coin Market Calendar. That's a great way to figure out like events that are correlated with cryptos. I think people used to use it more so to say, oh, this crypto is going to turn bullish because this event is coming around, right? That's not, now that we just had constant dipping, I think people just like realize that's not the case, but it's still worth, keeping track of events that are coming up for specific cryptos, without a doubt. Buy the others later after TIBBIR bursts. But I think, see, Patsy, I think where we have some difference here, I think you think that TIBBIR is going to burst by itself and no other cryptos are going to do things. If we are in a speculative cycle yet again, and I'm sure you've been through multiple bull cycles, my man. I'm sure you have been through multiple bull cycles. Everything goes up. The cryptos you hate, the cryptos you don't like, the cryptos you disagree with, meme coins, metaverse cryptos, privacy cryptos, any cryptos, all go up because we are in a speculative cycle that is still in the traditional financial system. So it's going to be walls of green, right? What did Sergey Nazarov, right? This isn't me. This isn't you saying this, but Sergey Nazarov, the founder of Chainlink, right, who has a significant presence in crypto, what did he say? The whole market will 10x overnight, right? So the low cap cryptos may go more than 10x plus, right? But at the end of the day, gains are going to be made on these digital assets, right? Gains are going to be made, right? So, you know, it's like I feel like you think TIBBIR is going to be the only one that makes gains and then nothing else is going to do anything, right? That they're all just going to stay in the deep reds. I don't think that's the case. Even if TIBBIR started to lead the market, for example, other cryptos will be following suit. There will be other cryptos making gains along with TIBBIR if it's in a speculative cycle. If it's utility based, that's a different story. Then I could totally agree with you there. TIBBIR is going to definitely be drawing a ton of utility. And by that time, if we're in the utility era, I think TIBBIR is already going to be, you know, way beyond, you know, like a lot of these other cryptos will have been their 10x and gone through the speculative phase, right? Stealth exit equals 20x. Yeah, I'm excited for that, man. The price you think it'll burst to, bullish choices. Gee, where are you buying Naoris, Uniswap? Stealth exit equals 20x. I mean, that's not a guarantee. That's not a guarantee, right? We've had cryptos that went from testnet to mainnet, right? And you'll go to mainnet, it goes up for a little bit, and then it comes down into the deep reds, right? But I'm excited. I'm excited because it's definitely one of the cryptos that they are, you know, very, very hush hush on. I'm not going to fight you too much on this, man, because you know I love me some TIBBIR. I have the freaking green frogs right on my shoulders here, right? I got 2 green frogs right on my shoulders here. So I'm all about rip it, man. Lots of different strategies, man. Yeah, exactly. Lots of different strategies. You know, hey, if you're all in on one crypto, it's going to make you gains. It's going to make you gains, right? It's going to make you gains. You know, a lot of people want to say it's not guaranteed, right? Hey, dude, we have the Chainlink founder literally saying they are going to 10x the whole market overnight. That means cryptos we hate, any cryptos that we even have. If you even have a digital asset, you are going to be making gains, right? Because they're going to try to draw all the masses into this market so they can wreck them all, right? Have them chasing pumps. I sell when it goes up. There we go, Patsy. Let's go. It's going to be hard time in the top, that's for sure. It's going to be hard time in the top, though. I just prefer CoinGecko in general because of CMC is related to Binance. Just by preference, the sites are very similar. Yeah. I mean, everybody's got... I like Live Coin Watch, you know, the most out of those. CoinGecko is cool. CoinMarketCap's cool. I like Live Coin Watch, right? But that's just my preference. Educated wagering is what I'm into. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Moving on to Dragon Chain at a penny. Dragon Chain negative 75% down, 435 million supply. Probably has an NDA signed with Disney, and nobody wants to talk about that. Talk about stealth projects right here. This crypto has been fudded and fudded ever since it came into existence, man. Got sued by the SEC too. Had to deal with the freaking lawsuit from the SEC. Survived that, right? Had its case dropped, right? But unfortunately, it had its case dropped during the bear cycle. Right? Excited to see what Dragon Chain with a 433 million supply at a penny, negative 75% down, right? At a freaking penny, guys. 5 cents can get us 100 plus of a 435 million supply. Imagine, right? Imagine back when Solana was like about $1 or so, or $2 or $15, and you were able to get 100 of those, and then it turned into $200, right? Dragon Chain's at a freaking penny, and you're $5. Could possibly go to multiple dollars, triple digits even, right? Because it's a 435 million supply and it's a blockchain as a service crypto. It's looking to make access to blockchain so easy for enterprises and developers. Developed and made at Disney. Disney pulling a Ripple and saying, hey, you know what? You should outsource this and become a nonprofit foundation, because that's how it can really expand as an open source technology, not as a centralized technology within a centralized company, right? So at a penny, negative 75% down for a Dino crypto that everybody's completely forgotten about, but has substance without a doubt. Supports a lot of multiple languages for developers to use and build on, right? Has patents in the freaking US, right? Major patents in the US, has quantum resistant technology, right? Data shredding right here, right? IOTX, Internet of Sensors at 008, negative 77% down. More of an interesting tradable opportunity right here, in my opinion. I like IOTA and and VeChain more in the Internet of Sensors, but IOTX with I think a 10 billion supply, 008 -77% down. IOTX has hardware and internet, is focused on the Internet of Sensors, Internet of Things. Same thing with HNT, Helium as well. Can't forget HNT in terms of the, IoT and, Internet of Things, right? Shout out to everybody. No way, Patsy, you're not 46, dude. Wow, you don't seem it, man. You don't seem it, dude. You got a hell of a lot of energy. Good for you, man. Must be eating those pumpkin seeds. Got about 50 cryptos, including TIBBIR. Can't quit buying cryptos. I can't quit buying cryptos, man, but I'm starting to narrow it down. I'm starting to narrow it down just to the 6Xs, right? Naoris and the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. Those are the only, and TIBBIR, right? TIBBIR. Those are the only ones that I really feel like, and W in terms of the interoperability layer. I'm really, really liking W. I think people are sleeping on W. But yeah, we got a hell of a freaking, I'm timeless. Let's go, dude. I love that. That's great. Bully boy in the house. What's up? Moneyball is what we like to call it. Does anybody watch Crypto Hulk? I really don't watch any other crypto YouTubers. The only time I watch crypto YouTubers now is to join Coffee Time or XRP Boardroom or, Crypto Therapy 589, just to hang out with the Blue Foundation there and talk shop, right? I don't really watch too many other crypto YouTubers. I used to watch Cobb, in the early days, Cobb, Jungle Inc., right? Digital Asset Investor before they all got big. Right? Crypto Airy, right? Used to watch all those peeps. Now I just kind of just limited to the ones that I can kind of jump into their streams and start talking, right? Or, hang out with the Blue Foundation in the chat for a little bit, start talking there. Crypto 589, I like supporting because they're in the early days, right? Like supporting channels in their early days and giving them shout outs. We did that for XRP Bags. Dude, I remember when XRP Bags didn't even have 100 subscribers, man. Right? Shouting out XRP Bags and his music, right? Holy cow, dude. Shout out to XRP Bags and where he's gone, right? Much love to the Bagman. Thanks for this hat. Thanks for the crown here, Bagman. Always grateful to you, my dude. But man, you have surpassed so much of, what we've done here. Obviously, you are on the freaking Mount Rushmore of the XRP community, without a doubt, dude. XRP Bags. Shout out to you, man. Always grateful for, your impact to our channel. But, hey, man, we were there supporting you in the early days. And I know you know that without a doubt. But that's not, that's nothing to boost my own ego about. It's just, I love supporting, genuine, crypto YouTubers that are out there that are doing it for the love of the freaking game versus just, just trying to get followers and subs and stuff like that, or, doing gossip about talking heads and stuff like that. I always get turned off when that ends up happening. It's like, or, speculating on like, we speculate here, right? But like, I like it when they keep it crypto and they talk about cryptos that have value or low sentiment, right? I love people who go against the grain, right? Crypto Banker SHX was going against the grain there. Crypto Canvas, shout out to him as well, man, right? I hear those digital asset investor. Well, hey, man, I mean, DAI, man, back in the day, I mean, say what you will now. I really don't know the whole history of it, but yeah, I hear with Brad Kimes and stuff, all that type of stuff. I mean, I just remember them from the early days. Like what they ended up becoming, I don't really know, right? People tell me about the scam stuff and all that type of stuff. I really wasn't around to experience that. I was already off board by that time. They got just so big, they really weren't they weren't really bringing too much that was new to the, and I'm not even trying to like critique them, man. I'm grateful for like what they've done to help me on my journey here, right? But I like supporting channels like when they're starting out, right? And Crypto Therapy 589 is kind of like that next one. I like tuning into their stuff. Hopefully I could tune in tomorrow on hopefully I could tune in tomorrow on Crypto Therapy 589 and join them and see what they're up to. So shout out to Marvin Davis, shout out to Fuma Boys, shout out to Nina Blossom, right, and what they're doing. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Navigator, man. I was supporting his channel early days. Crypto Navigator's been kind of going through some stuff, I assume, right? He's been jumping in on some of the XRP boardrooms, right, here and there. He's living in the Philippines, it looks like. You know, I think he's gone through some life changes and he's kind of just adjusting. He'll probably come back around. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to keep streaming during a bear cycle, man. It's hard to keep streaming during a bear cycle. And, you know, we've been doing this for 9 years, man. Bear cycles, bull cycles, it doesn't matter. We try to stream daily, right? Sometimes I take little breaks here because I freaking get, you know, worn out because of freaking work and stuff. I'll work 14-hour days and it's like I just don't have time to stream. I don't have the energy, right? Sometimes I do, but, you know. Read Bags' video titles for the last few, and it's not... Shout out to Patsy. Join the mastermind group. What's up, AM? Much love. Shout out to everybody here. Much love to the Blue Foundation. You guys are amazing. Moon Commander. Shout out to everybody here. Much love to all of y'all. Let's keep going, guys. So we got Corium. Corium at 5 cents, negative 77% down. I think about a 500 million supply. Very little supply here. Right, guys, we're pretty close to 30 likes. If we can get 30 likes for the stream, that'd be amazing. I was trying to go for a 50 like goal because we started off so hot, but we've started to lose some steam. I don't know, maybe too many deep reds for y'all. Maybe too many low sentiment cryptos for y'all. Maybe cryptos that nobody is talking about for y'all. Maybe that's why. Maybe we're not, because we're not talking about freaking, you know, not talking about talking heads and what he said, she said type of stuff. We're talking about freaking cryptos that are freaking just under the radar, or just deep red and just very low sentiment, right? Corium at 5 cents, negative 77% down, right? Corium, along with Sologenic, along with Pulsara, SARA is the ticker for Sara, right? Corium, Pulsara, Sologenic, these three, red light, green light, blue light, right? All connected to each other, right? They're all going to have their specific use cases. They're all very low supply with very, very low prices. We could get whole numbers of these very easily with coffee money, never have to think about them again. Some of them we can stake and build staking rewards with. That is freaking fantastic, right? That is freaking fantastic. RSR at 002, negative 78% down. Peter Thiel connected with this project. RSR looking legit, looking like a great opportunity for some coffee money. I think a pretty low supply. I think it's around like the billion-ish type of supply at 002, liking RSR. Also a weird black and white crypto logo as well. We got Sandbox, SAND, the blue sand at 11 cents, negative 79% down, 3 billion supply. We got EGLD. I talked about Multiverse X just earlier here, can provide decentralized recovery, high throughput, unique forms of consensus, right? Very interesting competitor for the compute layer. And, you know, very fast transactions, right? $6.30 right now for 29 million supply, negative 80% down. Yeah, there was 31 and we lost likes. I know, Patsy. I know, dude. Hey, man, that's how YouTube does it. Dude, I'll gain subscribers. Like sometimes I'll finish a stream and I'll be like, hell yeah, dude, we got like 6 or 7 subscribers off that stream. Next thing you know, 6 of them are gone, right? I only gain, dude, we go inch by inch per stream. Like I'm lucky if I get 1 subscriber per stream, right? I'm lucky if I get 1 subscriber per stream, right? They are definitely trying to make sure this channel doesn't reach at all as many people as possible. Dude, you get channels that'll get 100 subscribers within a freaking day, right? When they start really hitting it big, right? When they start hitting their stride, they'll get 100 subscribers in a day, right? When they start blowing on up and going into the thousands of subscribers in that year. For us, it's taken 9 years to just get these 5,000 subscribers. That's less than 1,000 subscribers, significantly less than 1,000 subscribers a year, right? It's freaking brutal, right? But we're going to keep doing what we're doing regardless how we do it, right? It is very bizarre, but that's how YouTube works, man. We must be onto something. Dude, we must be onto something with this TIBBIR thing, right? They want to keep it in stealth. They don't want freaking channel just talking about TIBBIR, right? Talking about how it's at a billion supply at 18 cents and we can get whole numbers of the freaking future know your agent digital asset, right? Machete in the house. Happy Friday to you, man. Appreciate you jumping on in. Thanks for bringing in the good vibes, right? Yeah, the Mandela effect. Exactly, right? LCX hovering around 6 cents. Dude, that's a great value. Good call out there, right there, bloopity bloop. We've seen what LCX did when it got bullish, man. It made some really big moves, right? Really big moves. That's usually what that means when you they won't let you grow. That means you're onto something, definitely. Without a doubt, PF, dude. We're talking about so many freaking cryptos. Since we talk about deep reds and we talk about cryptos that are ultra sentiment or ultra low sentiment, which is their strategy, right? The strategy of the elite is to keep these cryptos out of our perception, right? They want us to chase pumps. They want us to go to the new shiny toys. They want us to go to the distractions. They don't want us to talk about the cryptos that are in the deep reds that they're trying to hide in the pit of the deep reds. Hell, and I'm not saying all these cryptos that I'm talking about in the deep reds are relevant. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, right? But there's definitely some that we're hitting on that they're like, can't let this go any further, right? Can't let this go any further. Can't let this grow. Let this branch out. Also, it's also a part of the viewership. There's a lot of viewers that don't want to hear about cryptos that are down in the deep reds. They want to hear cheerleaders, right? They want to hear cheerleaders. Oh my God, look at our crypto that is doing so well. This is going to keep going to the moon. It's going to go to $100 plus. It's going to go to 1,000. Oh my God, right? Go crypto, go this crypto, right? That's what they want, right? Unfortunately, we're not giving it to them, right? XDC looking sexy, without a doubt, El Prey. XDC always looking sexy, man. The 6Xs always looking sexy. The 6Xs are still a tremendous value. Wondering what the 6Xs are? XRP, XLM, XDC, XPX, XX Network, and XTZ Tezos, right? Tezos, by the way, just released a new post on their X, right? Talking about, already over a year of investing in uranium. And now they have a website dedicated to investing in uranium with Tezos. Fantastic, man. Fantastic, dude. Uranium on the Tezos blockchain, dude. This is massive. Continuing here. Hashpack token. Hashpack token is part of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance connected with Hedera. It's the major wallet of the Hedera ecosystem. Hedera just got a freaking ETF during the bear cycle, right? HBAR is going to be making some massive gains. And when the speculation comes into HBAR, PAC is going to be coming back up above a penny. It's at 007 right now, negative 81% down, 1 billion supply. Every transaction that you make on the Hashpack involves the PAC token. PAC is used on every single transaction that you do on Hashpack, right? Any correlations with Elon's obsession with the X? Right? Machete, I wish we're doing something new for 2026, man. It's at least a 99-cent super chat for any questions for me to answer, man. We're just trying to help this channel grow and build traction. I'm not trying to con viewers or anything like that, man, but I'm trying to quit one of my jobs, man. I work 2 jobs, right? And I do the streaming, and I try to put in as much time as I can into the streaming and into the Blue Foundation. So any questions for me to answer from people who are gray or blue wrenches, it's at least a 99-cent super chat for me to answer the question. If you sign up for our membership, right, for this channel, it's $1.99, and I'll the base one, the lowest tier membership, I'll answer as many questions as you like, my man, right, if you become a green giant. But for me to answer that question, my dude, at least a 99-cent super chat. I definitely got some interesting answers for that, of why he's obsessed with the X. I got some esoteric connections. I got some, kind of direct connections, or possible direct connections, right? But yeah, shout out to that. Great question though, man. Great question. Much love to all of y'all. But anyways, moving on. We got BDP, Big Data Protocol. Big data is going to be an essential thing, right? I don't know if Big Data Protocol is going to be, a must need, right? But it's an interesting speculative investment to me, because big data is going to be very important in the future, right? It's going to be very important for AI. It's going to be informing AI with quality information, right? And also private investment data will be going to this AI, right? So at a penny, right? Private investment data for AI agents from Big Data Protocol at a penny, negative 83% down, 80 million supply. I repeat, an 80 million, very low supply, sub 100 million supply at a penny, $5 does damage to this blockchain, right? Especially if it starts to go big, especially if it starts to be, a big deal, bigger adoption, right? Our $5 could go a long way on BDP here at a penny, negative 83% down, 80 million supply. We got Rose, the blue rose. We got blue roses all over our blue castle, decorating our blue castle here. Blue rose is at a penny, negative 83% down, 10 billion supply, right? Negative 83% down, 10 billion supply for a privacy, OG privacy-focused crypto. They've been building privacy for more than 5 years now. AI focused as well for more than 5 years. The Blue Rose is an anomaly in nature, and Blue Rose is one of the only smart contract platforms that separates the smart contract from the execution. They have two separate forms of consensus. They have the smart contract consensus and the execution of the smart contract and the transaction, right? This is massive for Rose in differentiating itself from a lot of other projects that are out there, especially the compute layer cryptos that just always, when they execute a transaction, there's a smart contract with it every freaking time. Rose has separate forms of consensus, separate forms of executing smart contracts, and once again, privacy focused, AI focused. W, right? W, Wormhole, man. Wormhole's a key play for the interoperability layer, heavily connected with Securitize. Securitize has shouted out Wormhole many, many times. Securitize is invested in by BlackRock, so we cannot be sleeping on W right here. Wormhole is going to be huge. It's a black and white crypto logo as well at 3 cents, negative 85% down, 10 billion supply for W Wormhole. We don't know what a bull cycle looks like for Wormhole at all, right? We don't know what a bull cycle looks like for Wormhole at all. D Curry in the house. As we're ending it out here, I appreciate you jumping on in. You might have to turn the blue wrenchy green. For who, Mozerbs? For who, my man? For who? You want to solo? Got some nice action? Yeah, Moonfeather Rising without a doubt. Quentin Miller dropping 5 memberships. Fantastic, dude. He's hoping one of them hits some of these grays right here. Mike Mans getting a membership. Control Alt XRP getting a membership. Fishing with Camo Joe getting his membership. He's already been a green giant before. He's back on to being a green giant again. We got Just Send It getting a green giant status. We got K HUD becoming a green giant. Fantastic, dude. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, my man. Might be confusing for grays. What might be confusing for grays? I mean, hey, basically becoming a member, you can ask as many questions as you want. We have different tiers of memberships. Our cheapest one is $1.99, or you could do a super chat of 99 cents for me to answer your question. I don't think that's confusing at all. That's as plain as I can put it out there, right? AKT at 4, but dude, Quentin Miller, shout out to you. Bravo, bro. Bravo. Coming from the Green Giant Mountains, sprinkling some green giant dust, turning some blue wrenches green, turning some grays into green. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the shout out. Everybody shouting out Quentin. Shout out to you, Quentin Miller. He's loving the bullishness. We got AKT, Decentralized Cloud Infrastructure, right here at 42 cents, negative 86% down. The Cosmos ecosystem. Here you go, moneymaker. Here you go, man. You just had to be patient. But the Cosmos ecosystem is rounding out our deep reds here, man. Most of the cryptos here, the top 6 deep reds, 5 of them are Cosmos ecosystem cryptos. AKT is at 42 cents, negative 86% down. Very low supply. Decentralized infrastructure crypto. Early partnership with Equinix, which is a massive decentralized cloud storage provider. The founder of AKT used to work as a developer at IBM, right? He used to work as a consultant at IBM. This is huge for AKT. AKT at 42 cents is a tremendous value. We can stake it. We can build up staking rewards for AKT while we're waiting for the bull cycle to come back around. I think Cosmos ecosystem is going to be one of the biggest gaining ecosystems in this next bull cycle. They have tried so hard to FUD everybody out of the Cosmos ecosystem. It's going to be one of the ecosystems that everybody chases and starts doing DeFi on, and they're going to get freaking wrecked. The time to do Cosmos ecosystem DeFi is right now in the deep reds, building up our staking rewards, and we'll be able to cash out our staking rewards when the greens come, right? And we'll get our initial and then some back, and then still have assets that are cranking out passive income for us. Osmo at 5 cents, negative 89% down. Very low supply as well. Definitely under, I think, 500,000 in terms, or half a billion supply for Osmo. This is the premier DEX of the Cosmos ecosystem. It does liquid staking. They brought Bitcoin into their DEX, right into the Cosmos ecosystem to earn passive Bitcoin, to stake your Bitcoin in the Cosmos Osmosis Zone. The founder was listed on Forbes as 30 under 30, 5 cents, negative 87% down for Osmo. You got Regen Network, eco-friendly crypto that has collaboration with Solana and Ripple. It's at 004 at under 200 million supply, negative 89% down. Regen Network is built for a very eco-friendly world that is not here yet, right? Regen Network is just patiently waiting for people to be obsessed with the eco-friendly cryptos. Algorand is just waiting for people to be obsessed with eco-friendly cryptos. Eco-friendly cryptos are going to have their day in the sun, and Regen Network at 004 looking like a tremendous opportunity in that Cosmos ecosystem, right? Especially for what they're doing with carbon credits. You guys remember Uphold's CO2? Right? UPCO2, Uphold knows people are going to get super eco-friendly eventually in the future, man. This is going to be massive. The creators of XRPL going against mining, going against proof of work, going against energy and electricity usage, right? They know the eco-friendly era is going to be coming sooner rather than later. It's going to be within these next couple or a few years, right? I especially expect it in 2028, right? Peak PEAQ at 3 cents, negative 93% down. Peak is massive with hardwares, right? Hardware, Internet of Sensors, Internet of Things technology. PEAQ followed by the Decentralized Recovery Alliance, looking like a good value right here at 3 cents, negative 93% down. And then we end it with the blue butterfly that we have floating around our blue castle right here. IXO, the Internet of Impacts in the Cosmos ecosystem at 002, negative 93% down, about 120 million supply. IXO has been talked about by the XRPL Commons, right? There's some connections here. Cosmos and Ripple have really big connections. Cosmos ecosystem was representing at the Interledger Protocol Summit in 2019. Interledger Protocol thought Cosmos ecosystem was worthy enough to invite to figure out how to do interoperability of blockchains as well as the interoperability of institutions, banks, and all ledgers, right? Excited to see what the Cosmos ecosystem is going to do. But guys, that is our deep breads for the day. We didn't quite reach 30 likes. I hope we can eventually reach 30 likes, and we only have 15 viewers now. Unfortunately, I guess not that much hype and excitement on our only stream of a Friday, but hey, you know what? We're still bullish. We're still excited. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that were able to tune in and pay attention to us here and hang out with us on the Deep Breads on a Friday. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Guys, thanks for start earning Bitcoin on your EMBER app. In the description below, we have our referral link for the EMBER app that allows you to earn extra Bitcoin for mining on your phone. Thanks to anybody who's sending us donations to our wallet addresses that are in the description below. And thanks for anybody who's buying stuff from our merch store that's in the description below as well. I am so grateful. Control-Alt-XRP, you're coming in near the end here, my man. But I appreciate you jumping on in and hitting the like. And thanks to any new support. You got gifted a Green Giant membership by Quentin Miller during this stream, man. You got a little Interledger egg right there. I hope you stick around and continue to be a Green Giant after this month is over. But I appreciate everybody's support. You guys are amazing. I am always grateful. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. We're going to try to do 2 streams tomorrow, so I can't wait. And we'll see where the Deep Reds are at on those days. Guys, thank you, Blue Foundation. Thank you, Green Giants, and thank you, Deep Red Alliance. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. We got the golden eyes, and we keep it crypto. I'll see you guys in the Blue Castle. Much love. I'm going to keep trying if you guys keep trying. Adios.